Alright, what is up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. We've got an Alliance War video against one. I think that's, I don't know, that's their Alliance tag. So that's what I'm gonna call them. And first fight up is gonna be a Quake fight. It's gonna be against this MODOK where you have to deal energy damage or else you get thorns damage back to you. So yeah, this is a psychic thorns. The guy that was supposed to take this unfortunately died, so I ended up coming in. I was back up this war, so luckily I have been getting a lot better at Quake fighting completely stun immune, because it's started to be a little bit more of a necessity. And so yeah, I'm just gonna be doing the Quake and Shake in order to minimize as much damage as possible, because in these Alliance Wars, if you die, man, it's getting pretty expensive. So in my last Alliance War video, I almost itemed out. Fortunately, I believe it was one death, but in some cases, if you're dying twice in a war, man, you're 100% iteming out, especially if you have to heal up to full. Alright, so that MODOK is down. Not too bad of a fight, honestly. I believe we lost just over 10%. I think anywhere from 10 to 15%, where 5% was actually to suicides. Next up, though, we actually have this Iron Man Infinity War, and generally, I think Void is probably one of the better champions to use for this. You're about to see some crazy block damage from this. So initially, block damage, not a big deal. We took, right there, that was actually a 61 parry. There a 95 parry, 88, 44. So damage is really not bad. But it gets really bad when he starts to stack up those aggression furies. And because of Iron Man Infinity War's special one, where it's actually, so you can punish his SP1, you have to have the spacing there though. But the thing is that most of the time you're not going to be punishing his SP1 unless for some reason you're backed up in your corner where the spacing is pretty freaking good. You're not going to be punishing the SP1s. So as you can see, we're 60 hits in, and this fight is going pretty freaking well. We haven't gotten parried. We've been keeping the aggression fury in control, and we're doing good so far. But it starts to get a little hairy once we start getting him down to around the 20% mark, where we can't really throw a full 5-hit combo because of the possibility of getting a parry, or him parrying us and stunning us. And in this case, because of the aggression fury, the damage is just ramping up like crazy. There, we did 2 parries. The first one did over 700. The second one did, I believe, 500. So we're trying to get this under control. That was almost a 1400 block hit from this medium. So yeah, the damage is starting to get nuts. 3,000 on my block. 2,000, yeah, so the damage, it gets really out of control. And towards the end of this fight, you'll see I go from like 70 or 80% down to 5. So actually managed to get a crit there, which is really nice to speed up this fight, especially because it's starting to take a lot of time, especially because he now has that permanent passive armor, which I honestly don't think should apply to the signature ability, because that's kind of OP. Just to always have the ability to auto block. Yeah, it's just really hurting me here. So there again, 2 parries, and I'm just chipping away. He's got 10 furies, 9 furies, and look at this block damage. Just barely made it out of that fight with 5% health, man. That, oh my god, that fight is insane. Luckily, my reparries for the most part were on point. Otherwise, there's no way I was surviving that fight normally. I still think Void is the better counter for this, especially because Void can keep the power gain in check, and his heavy also has 3 parts to it. So as far as the power gain and the aggression fury, he can keep both in check relatively really well. It's just Void is such a consistent champion. Now Warlock, he's decent, but you saw the issues. His heavy is only 1 hit. His ability to keep the power gain in control, you need to have the infection on him, which does run out, and is actually the duration is actually reduced if the opponent has buffs as well. So he has his issues. Warlock overall though is a super solid champion, just not for that fight. Now we had somebody else take on that Doctor Strange, which is a control defender, and this Dormammu, which is also another control defender, I believe. They used Human Torch for both fights. And then once they take down that fight, we're actually gonna go ahead and take on this Arcus, which yeah, it seems like we've been taking Arcus quite a lot this season on the triple power gain node. At least the first 2 or 3 times I faced Arcus on this node without knowing a true counter, didn't go too hot, but now using Doom every single time, I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with it. It's still a little tricky, and his SP2, I still don't know how to evade, just because the Qs aren't as obvious as some other specials. So yeah, going into this fight, and I play it slow at the start. I actually don't get hit with a full 5-hit combo at the start. I know, shocker, but we do end up getting hit anyways. Okay, so we're gonna go in for the heavy. This will give us his power gain. Going for another heavy, and unfortunately pushed into an SP2. Going for the SP1 so I can start actually stealing his power gains. And yeah, so when you power steal him, he does get those more power gains. Alright, and luckily because we had the aura, we were actually able to block the end of his SP2. And also because Doom also has insane block efficiency, yeah, we minimized a lot of damage. There we go, going for another SP1, nullify 3 of those power gain buffs. We actually shoot up to another SP3, and going for a medium, and then 5-hit combo. Right after this SP3, but I believe now we have 2 Furies, so this SP3 actually did more damage than the last one. 37k, going for 2 mediums, and that last medium actually took him down. So overall pretty good. I think we only had 3 fights, one of which was nuts, man. That item, if I had to heal out Warlock for that item use, man, I'd be insane. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that Iron Man Infinity War fight, man. He's insane. It's funny how Tiffany was like, oh, he's probably not even that good of a defender anymore. Nah, and with the flow, he's an absurd defender. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.